Hello and welcome to commentary number 50. We're in Central Park, New York City. Chaim Baruchalevsky here. Scene is a little different than my usual run. The reservoir where I usually go is wet, and I don't like slushing when I run. So we're now surrounding the great lawn of Central Park in New York City. Still a beautiful place, even though it's snow-covered, or especially that it's snow-covered. We're also in today's Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the new month of Adar. And this year we have a leap year, so it's 2 Adars. We're starting Rosh Chodesh Adar Beis, the 2nd Adar. And in 2 weeks, approximately exactly, is Purim, our special holiday of Purim. And one of the mitzvahs that we do before Purim, during the month of Adar, is called Machatzis HaShekel, the half a shekel, where from biblical times we are doing this, where we give a half a coin of the going coin. So in America it would be $50, and three times the charity. So the process and procedure of how it works, usually it happens on Erev Purim, Tanis Esther, at the end of the fast of Esther, before the first Megillah reading, but you can find the details elsewhere. Now I'm just going to talk a little bit about certain characteristics in that giving, that the Rebbe asks some really good questions and poses some really good answers as usual that are relevant to our day-to-day life. Here goes. So the Rebbe says the half a shekel in the biblical requirements of the half a shekel that they had to give to the building of the Mishkan was ha'ashir. The words that the Torah used was, they knew this is what they should give, and it was a half a coin. Ha'ashir lo yarbe, machatzit shekel, a half of a shekel. And then it says ha'ashir lo yarbe, the rich should not increase. The hadal lo yamit, and the poor should not give less. So the Rebbe says, question number one is regarding all the other contributions to the Mishkan, to the temporary temple in the desert, and then the temples thereafter. Anybody could give whatever they wanted, and it was kafi nidvat libo, according to the generosity of your heart is what you would donate. Why over here in this machatzit shekel does everyone give exactly the same prescribed amount? Question number one. Question number two is, if everyone has to give the same amount, why does it say the rich should not increase and the poor should not decrease? Why doesn't it just say simply, everyone give equally? Isn't that simpler? And the Rebbe obviously was all about unity in the Jewish world and in the whole world at large. So the question is even stronger. Why make a separation? Why note the separation between the wealthy and the poor if you don't need to? Just say, everyone give the exact same amount, and everyone will understand the same thing. Says the Rebbe, if the Torah goes out of its way to say that a rich person cannot give more, and a poor cannot give less, then there must be a reason for it. And here's one approach. Says the Rebbe that in giving itself, in the act of giving itself, we have 2 parts. We have the actual giving, and then we have what comes along with the giving. Who's giving? What are the feelings? What's the attitude? And how much of the internal being goes along with that giving? So we have the raw action, and then we have the person who's giving and how much the person is invested in that giving. The Rebbe says that the mitzvah of machatzis hashekel, of the half a shekel, is representing the mitzvah, the concept of mesiras nefesh, which means dedication to our God, complete surrender to God. So much so, starting from the smallest act, that when we do a mitzvah, when we do an act of a mitzvah, whatever it is, we're surrendering our will to God, because we're doing what He asks us to do. All the way to a human or a Jew dying, al kiddush Hashem, being willing to die, to sacrifice his life for God's name. So it's the surrender, the act of surrendering. The idea of surrendering is represented in the mitzvah of machatzis hashekel. Says the Rebbe, in the act itself, in the surrendering, in giving over the will to God, our will for God's will, we're all the same. The rich and the poor are all exactly the same. Everyone does the mitzvah exactly the same, and everyone gives the half shekel exactly the same half. But inside the person who's dedicating himself in this mitzvah, inside the person who's surrendering his will by doing the act to God, what's going on? Says the Rebbe, inside the person, every person is different. Some people are chock full of deep Torah information and full of feeling and full of knowledge and full of creativity and charisma, or whatever it is. Everyone has the 10 attributes, the 10 sefirot, the Chochmah, Bina, Das, Chesed, Glory, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yisod, Malchus, the 10 character traits that we have. And that, no two people are alike. Says the Rebbe, when you do your mitzvah, Ashir, someone who's very wealthy in their character traits, someone who's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of feeling, a lot of emotion, a lot of character in every way, lo yarbe and hadal lo yamit. The rich person has to give it all he's got. You can't give any more than you have, but you have to give it all you got. And hadal, the poor person, someone who doesn't feel too much, doesn't know too much, hasn't learned a lot, and doesn't care. Hadal lo yamit, you have to give it all you got. So everyone has to give everything they've got when they do the mitzvah. And that's why it says Hashir. There is a difference in the dedication, in the internal dedication, in the internal gift that a person is bringing to the table when he does a mitzvah. Of course, there will be emphasized many times, the most important thing is the action, is the deed. Doesn't matter where you're at. Give the coin, do the mitzvah, wrap the tefillin, eat the kosher, observe the Shabbos. The most important thing is the action, is the deed. However, there is a difference in the way the deed is done, not in the action, but in the feeling that comes along with it, in the mindset that comes along with it, because no two people are alike. And here, says the Rebbe, there are rich people, and there are poor people, and there's everything in between. And everyone, the common denominator is that everyone has to give it all they got. Everyone should give everything they've got. Your blood, your guts, your heart, your soul, and everything in between. When you do a mitzvah, be there completely. That's the story for today. God bless you all. Let's give it all we got. There's a song, The 8th Day, the Marcus Brothers. Give it all you got. Check it out. God bless you.